Tech Break by Friday. It's an honor to have you. I have seen that you have experience in insurance and here basically to observe human expectations and what they think is possible with AI. So, first of all, I would like if you can give us a brief description of yourself, just for the audience to get to know you, and then we move on from there.
Sure.
Okay.
Do we start now?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Sure. So my name is Juan. I'm one of the three co-founders of Tuyo. We
Mm-hmm.
are an AI native insurer. That's the way we call it. I am an engineer by trade. I studied engineering at university. Then I worked in engineering in telecommunications for a few years. Then I moved to strategy consulting to the dark side. Then I moved on to Orange, a telecommunications company here in Southern Europe. And there I was running the new ventures team and I was building different businesses close to telecommunications, but not didn't have to be. And then one of them was Orange Insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And we then and there we realized that the insurance experience was broken. I mean, there was a lot to do with technology and there was a lot to do with legacy systems and a broken experience. And one of the things there that I figured that I maybe was going to do, and as untrustable as people think it is, it was a great industry to do something. Then in parallel, to my two co-founders, Jose Maria, that I knew from working with him in one of the other ventures that we were building in energy, in the energy sector. He was as a consultant for the insurance, well, financial industry in general. And he also realized that the insurance experience was broken at the kind of at the same time, same type of realization from a different point of view. And then Aziz, which is the third co-founder, he comes from more of an analytic from the data and the technology side. He runs technology and data at Tuyo, which is an insurance company. We are focused on consumers from ages from 21 to 55, give or take. And this is not very rigid. It's not a very rigid segment because it's more focused on behavioral rather than an age cohort. But still, it gives you a proxy of the type of people that actually buys insurance through Tuyo or with Tuyo. Um, and we're focusing on this segment because we realized when we started drilling on what was wrong, what was broken in insurance, we realized that there was this customer segment that wasn't getting its needs fulfilled. It was very much underserved because I mean this segment is we were used. I mean, which I am of course, and you are as well. We are used to consume content from Netflix. We are used to buy stuff through Amazon. We even used to buy our groceries online now. So it is kind of mind blowing that you cannot buy uh, an insurance policy online with any degree of transparency, which is the case or was the case when we started in 2021. And then when you start drilling further on that segment, you start looking at the industry and you start looking at that particular segment poses a different problem because it's basically not profitable for most insurers. When you look at the behavior of this customer segment, we do compare a lot on price comparison websites. We tend to look at the different coverages, the different price points, and start thinking about what is best for us. And we've moved a bit away from the brands, like the traditional legacy brands from insurance that are used to still use kind of like a little bit less of transparency and price point as a proxy for quality. Which I mean, we all still use that, but we've moved away from that. So there was a lot of the financial literacy that comes from knowing all the coverages, and that puts pressure on top line for insurance because you know what you're buying and you know how much you should be paying for it because which wasn't the case for old cohorts. And then because you know what you're buying, you tend to use it more. It's just a byproduct of the financial literacy that comes from actually browsing a lot online. And then what we found is that not only there is pressure on top line, there's also pressure on bottom line. So we were not profitable segment for insurers, which means obviously that you will, if you're an insurer, you will not invest in this particular segment. So there was this double-sided problem that we thought, oh, maybe there's something here for us. And we thought that if we can move this particular segment to a type of value proposition that they're used to, which is basically digital self-service online, then I mean we may be able to reduce cost to serve and serve this customer profitably. And yeah, 5 years later, here we are.
Awesome story. Awesome story. Yeah, I totally get it. And I like how you have a big of a, I would say, big journey because you went like two different places. It's not that this is your first company and you have experience like from the other company that you also said in the South Europe as well. So basically, I would like to start with how we can trust the systems. So let's say insurance is a high stakes, low trust industry for a lot of people. We hear most of the times about insurance scams, about people that have malicious intents, and people actually are not getting the justice that they need. How exactly do you design an autonomous AI agent to build not only trust, but also give this trust more than a human agent during a claim process, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so there's a few things there to unpack. The first thing is that we designed a system that's not full. I mean, can be fully autonomous, but it's not. It doesn't have to always be. There's we designed our system. It's called Watson. It's the claims agent. It's called Watson because of the Sherlock Holmes companion,
Mm-hmm.
because he actually investigates all the claims. So what we did is we didn't even though if we actually managed to get some of the branches of the tree fully autonomous, we didn't our objective wasn't that from the beginning. We just wanted to make things better, like take better decisions. That's
Mm-hmm.
the way we said this. So we designed the system with a human in the loop mindset. We just thought like we maybe help. That's where how we started. We maybe will help our adjusters to make decisions better and make decisions faster because that's going to be better for customers and better for us. And what we realized is that the claims process is not really a linear process. It's just not very deterministic or at all. It doesn't follow a straight line, right? It just branches out. It depends on coverages. It depends on the severity, the fraud. If there's a fraud signal, sorry, if you need to schedule a repair, if you need to send an expert. I mean, all sorts of different things that can happen throughout the claims process, right? So the thing with Gen AI, as opposed to previous technologies, that previous technologies were just focused on automation and on linear automation to actually be more concrete. It's just like the first was A, then was B, and then was C, and that was it. And to try to implement it in something as complex as a claims process, then you would have 1,000 branches that would be a complete nightmare to maintain. So with that in mind, what we build is just an NBA machine. Gen AI, what it does very well, it's getting all sorts of different inputs, then go through them, and then just have outputs, right? So basically, with that insight, what we said, like, oh, maybe we have this process before that. We have a customer, it's also service. You have a customer tape a video or upload some pictures, and that's how he files a claim or send us if there's something stolen. They send us also the police report. So you have all this information that we plug into Watson, and then Watson also goes and gets all the past data that we have from the customer. He gets his policy. He gets also the different touch points that he had. Maybe he didn't with us, and then he has all this different information that for a person would take, I don't know, a day at least to go just in the
Sure.
fact section. You need to go locate the information, just watch the video because it might be something like 5 minutes, and maybe you have to watch it 2 or 3 times. But Watson, I mean, or in general, LLMs, what they're really good is just to go through all that information and make sense of it and just have a different set of recommendations. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what it does for us. Um, we have these manuals on how our adjusters are to behave, and that's a normal for an insurance company. We just plug that into the RAG database. So you get all this information, you get the manual on how to actually go through claims process for that particular claim coverage. And then you just get a set of recommendations depending on the stage of the process, because it's not the same thing if that's the first time you actually see that claim, or you've gone, or it's like the third iteration of sending an expert or sending a repair or just having to pay out the indemnization. So the machine goes through all that and it just exits the output, which is just a set of recommendations. It's like, for example, you have to update reserves. The reserve for your audience is just what you it's your prediction on how much the claim is going to cost. So updating reserves is one action, and maybe another action is send the repairer, because in Spain here we tend to repair more than reimburse, which is not the same as every country, but here in Spain it's just we send repairers to just repair whatever you need, whatever, to fix whatever's broken. So we have all these different set of decisions, and then we have this other thing that also is an output from Watson, which is the level of confidence. I mean, indeed, will vary. Some decisions are high level of confidence, and you can automate them. Like an easy decision, high level of confidence, you just automate it. But then some other decisions you just don't automate, no matter the level of confidence that you have. For example, a rejection. A rejection is a very delicate matter for a customer, because more often than not, and we can talk about fraud, more often than not, the claim has actually happened, but maybe you have to reject it because it's not covering the policy, or because it happened before the customer purchased the policy. I mean, there's all sort of different things that can make the outcome for a given claim is just that you have to reject it. And just that's a reality from insurance, unfortunately. So that's something, for example, that we will never automate. That's something that by design, by principle from the company, there will always be a person in charge of doing that. Because I mean, if you think about it, the claim is true. That customer has had something happen to him. I mean, you want to be a little bit empathetic, right? You just want to give him the time just to process that. Sorry, you just have to pay it yourself. Doesn't matter that you have a policy. So that's a person who always does it. So we've designed this system that has a little bit of the best of both worlds, because it can automate as much as you want, but you can always control it, and you will have your people to do what they do best and where they add most value. And for us is two things: is everything that has to deal with the customer negatively. If it's positive and it's fast, then we let the machine do it. But if it's negative and you have to deal with the customer, then our people does it. And also there is this feedback loop that at every stage, at least for the moment, that we are still improving continuously on the machine, we have our people just go through the different sets of decisions and just accept or reject them. And if they reject them because they think that's not what you should do, given the claim, they have to say why. I mean, they have to actually input why. So you can actually feed it back to the machine, and then it will learn for next times. So that's how we build this machine. Well, this process that has AI in the center, and let's say the AI is the warranty, the warrantor, and let's say the thing running the process. But you have people, whatever you need the most. So we have both the best of both worlds. We have uh, the process is faster for customers. So it doesn't matter what the outcome is going to be, if either positive or negative. It's just faster, because before an adjuster to go through all the information that he would have to start adjusting the claim, it would take him, I don't know, a couple of hours, 3 hours, even a day if it's very complex. But now he gets all this summary from the machine in just a matter of minutes, right after a customer has filed that claim. So in general, end to end, the process is just much faster, which obviously that gives a better experience for the customer. Then again, we have our people, which are really good and really expert, to add value whatever the thing is very complex or it's needed. So we have a little bit of the best of worlds, and we haven't set out to just automate everything. We just set out to automate where we should.
Yeah, and I think that's basically what causes the return on investment on a business. Basically, you should automate what needs to be automated, and some things shouldn't be automated. Like some things need human oversight. That's why we are keep a human on the loop. Uh, is something that is important to have. It's not that like, oh, from tomorrow we don't even use humans anymore. Um, there are a lot of crazy things happening on the web right now. Source check, Cloudbot, OpenClaw. They almost broke the internet.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I would say that most of my listeners are obsessed with what AI can do for them and how they can basically have a return on their investments when they are optimizing with AI. So moving forward, can you please share a specific workflow that you guys are using at your startup Twio, where AI automatic automations have drastically improved the bottom line, or they have provided more efficiency than the traditional insurance model?
Right. So we use AI pretty extensively end to end throughout the
Mm-hmm.
whole company. We have this realization, and this is probably something will resonate with your audience pretty much, is that we started as everybody else. We started looking at the cost to serve. I mean, how efficient, pure efficiency. And but when you look at an insurer, and that's obviously gonna depend on every one of the companies that of your listeners. When you look at insurance, cost to serve, which is basically the people that you have to throughout all the life cycle of the policy, is just about 10% of our, or it was 10% of our cost base. So even if you could get a lot of efficiency, you're not going to get 50% reduction on your cost base because it's just, I mean, it's just a process that's already quite efficient. So so as I said, if even if you get 50%, you're only going to get 5 more percentage points of profit margin. So 2024, we realized maybe this is not what we should be doing. As fun and easy as it, well, as fun as it's been to build a text agent for customer service. This is not where our real cost is. Our real cost, and every P&L from every insurance company is the same. It's at marketing and claims. So we started thinking like, oh, how we can use AI to make better decisions instead of just efficiency at marketing and claims. And those two are our main focus right now. We've started doing stuff with the development in technology development, because obviously, I mean, you and your audience you are aware of Claude and how amazing it is.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but we're still starting on that because then there's a lot of human resistance that you have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
But again, marketing and claims are the two processes that we've seen the most success because it's just the cost base is just the largest. It's 85% when you look at our P&L at a given insurer P&L, and we've managed to run. If you look at homeowners insurance, which is our longest serving product, we are running the business now at 15% margin. As when you compare with traditional insurers in Spain, it's 5% margin. So we're running it three times margin, and this is basically
Wow.
because, as I said, I already explained claims, and then on marketing we do something a little bit similar actually. With this realization that what we could do for any process is just build next best action machines. We're doing the same thing for marketing. We started we run digital marketing internally in our company because we thought we go direct from market. Google is basically our main lead generation and our main marketing source. And what we used to run, it was a limited set of campaigns with a lot of broad matching, because a person cannot go through 1,000 campaigns and just look at all exact matching keywords, because it's just not possible. Again, it would just take a lot of time. So what we've done is we've built this next best action machine that goes through all the campaigns and all the keywords and just compare with the conversion ratios, compare with leads that's gone through that keyword, and just say like, oh, this keyword is not very profitable, you should probably remove it, right? So what we've done is, and in this fashion of human in the loop plus continuous improvement, we've started to get more complexity in the configuration of our digital marketing in Google. For example, we started with, I don't remember exactly the name, but let's say, I don't know, 10 campaigns, 15 campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're probably more on around 100, and we're using more extensively exact matching instead of broad matching, because if at broad matching you just have a keyword, and then any kind of search that has that keyword actually matches that, and you invest on that, right? You bid on that. With exact matching, you will only bid for that exact expression. So for example, home insurance, and then if you have broad matching, they will have home insurance and home insurance in Spain, home insurance in Asturias, home insurance in France or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But now we are only using exact matches because we with this engine we can go through all of it very fast and we can actually tweak it very week to week. So that's one way that we've been very granular in our
Mm-hmm.
marketing investments. So we have more better investment ratios in terms we've increased conversion ratios, we've increased uh, time to revenue, decreased time to revenue. We're growing more and more. And actually, 2 months after releasing
Mm-hmm.
this machine, we hit our best month, and we're hitting best months over like record sales month over month. And it's not because we are doing something absolutely different. It's because we have actually complete visibility and complete control on where each euro that we invest into Google is going. Because before, obviously, the machine did a lot for you, but now our own machine, our own robot in a way that's doing it for us. It's just not Google, which is a black box, so more often than not. And so that's another process that we are doing better month over month.
Yeah. And I think that's the best. Like, you want your dollars to actually matter and what you're spending to actually represent and also your revenue. Don't just want to spend money on marketing. So you say, "Ah, okay, I already spent money on marketing." It doesn't go that way. So yeah, I totally get that. And that's pretty smart actually, and something that I have not heard from a lot of people so far in the marketing area. So yeah. So I think you have mentioned in the past that the culture in an AI era can actually change. People need to collaborate with machines and not choose between each other. So, what was the biggest internal friction point that you have faced, whatever you can share with us, of course, when you introduced autonomous AI agents to a human team, and how did you solve it?
Well, it is an ongoing process. I wouldn't say we have solved it. We're just more and more pushing it to just improve culturally. But yeah, it is always an issue. For example, when we first started with Watson,
Mm-hmm.
all the adjusters would, as I said, we started having them review the suggestions and accept them or just not accept them.
Mm-hmm.
Like the very first week, we had a 0% acceptance rate from the
Okay.
adjusters. Yeah, 0%. Which even if you are absolutely wrong, there must be something that that machine was doing right. And the thing is that there is something, especially if you have a senior team that, as we do in adjustment, because from the very beginning we thought claims was the aha moment from insurance, as we all know. We hired a quite senior team,
Mm-hmm.
and we just realized that when you have this machine doing their job, there is this kind of identity clash, and it's difficult. It's difficult to accept that the way you've been working for the past 15 or 20 years has just radically changed. And you and some of the stuff that you used to do and you were very proud to do, now it's done by a machine. And so the very first weeks, there was this huge cultural clash, and we had to be very on top of it. So just start increasing adoption little by little. And now they're very happy because they realized it's not going to it's not an either or type of situation. It's like you will be working with machine. It's just it won't do your job completely because there's
Yeah.
some stuff that we believe you still do better. And now they're very happy because they don't have to go through all the videos and all the pictures and all the different things that a customer would say. And there's some of the investigation, and you touched on fraud before, and some of the stuff that we see here too, you and probably the very sophisticated fraud. We just don't see it because you just don't realize. But most of the fraud that we see is just not very sophisticated. It's just a little bit opportunistic. It's just I'm sending this picture that was taken before the policy was purchased because I mean the claim still exists. It's just it happened before you purchased the policy, and
Mm-hmm.
or you purchased the policy because you had the claim. And before we had Watson, they had to go through all the different pictures and they had to actually go and look into the metadata or have to watch the file names from the videos and the pictures. And now the machine does it for them. So it's just for them, it's just it just simplified some of the tasks, the more menial tasks that they used to do. But the beginning, when you talk about AI, we all follow your biases, and we all do, right? So the first thing that became is like, oh, they're gonna automate our job, and we won't have a job anymore. So we have to demonstrate that the machine is worse than we are, and we still have some issues with that, obviously. But that was one example that you needed to just release it into the wild, figure out how you're gonna measure that. And one thing we did is we actually put the refusal rate or the acceptance rate in their bonus. We have quarterly bonuses for our
Mhm.
adjusters, to just make sure that we are hitting all the metrics that we want,
Mhm.
to ensure that customer experience is as good as we want it to be. We actually had to get that into the bonus calculation to make sure that they were looking at it and just not rejecting for whatever reason.
Okay,
So yeah,
that's
that's one of the
great.
things that we had to do. But then we did that to begin the snowball to roll, and then now they just realize it's a great tool for them.
Hmm. And I think you also gave them an incentive to actually vote on the work that the agent was doing, and then they actually improve the product. This is also something that goes through after the stage of training an AI workflow or an automation. Basically, you have humans rating it, and based on how good or not it is, then you decide if it requires more training or not, and or if it needs any fixes whatsoever. Depends on the case. Yeah, I think this is something that not a lot of people have been talking about. Mostly it's about you will lose your job in the next year, and not about how we can help humans with AI and collaboration. I really appreciate the optimistic side of AI, but I know sometimes that automations tend to fail as well. Can you share with us maybe a failure story? I will put it with quotes because I know from every failure we totally learn at the
Right.
end of the day. So I will just leave you to that if you can share something with us.
Sure, we fail every day. Like there, things break all the time. This is like it's just it is it's really what it is. You just think you think you have these new feature that you want to push to production, and you think it's gonna be the next greatest thing. You just break whatever you had before, and then we have we have we have this Slack channel where the claims leader, he comes, oh, this is broken. It just happened, something you pushed just broke the whole thing, and it's just not working anymore. But I think for us, the main one was, as I said before, the zero acceptance rate that we had at the very beginning. It's like, oh, there's something, and that was a human factor, but still, it's like we were a bit naive in the way we pushed our initial, the initial version of Watson onto the hands of our adjusters without taking into account that it may threaten them and they may feel threatened. So that was one thing. As an overall theme, being very careful on how you frame your AI efforts will pay out for companies. And then I it just as I said, we break things every day. Well, probably not every day, because then we wouldn't be able to work on anything else than just fixing things. But we break things all the time. It's just sometimes. Um, well, I actually have one great example. We do break things all the time, so we have to work a lot on fixing things, and things just stop working, and then you just need to revisit them. But at the very beginning, we started working with AI in 2024 when
Mhm.
ChatGPT 3.5 was out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you probably remember hallucinations was really, it was a huge issue.
Yeah.
It's just not, right now it's very surprising how in 2 years the landscape is completely different. But hallucinations, nobody talks about hallucinations anymore. But in
Yeah.
2024, which is just not that long ago, there was the only thing that everybody was talking about, because I think 40% of the time, whatever you were building, it was just hallucinating something.
Mhm.
So we started building this text-based agent because to start scaling, most of our customers would ask questions through WhatsApp, right? So this is something we built, just being able to manage that scaling process that we were going through at that point. And and the very first version was horrible. It was absolutely awful. It would be wrong more often than not. Thankfully, it was only in production like one day, because it's just like we had it brought it back because it was awful, and then we had to go back to the drawing board and start thinking how through IT like normal architecture we would be able to just solve this automation problem, and we solve it through just having very small context window, having way more a larger number of agents that we thought we would need,
Mm-hmm.
and having them just very specialized on one single thing and just with a
Mm-hmm.
very tiny window context window, and that's the way we could make it work. This, on the other hand, just brought a completely set of difficulties because now if you have these huge tree with like 100 or 120 different set of agents with all with their context and with their prompts. Yeah, to maintain that wasn't easy. So we did that, and that for example was a huge learning moment. It's like, oh, I mean, AI is great and it's very powerful, but it also has its problems. And now thankfully, 2 years later, we are in our third iteration of that text agent, and now it's just so much simpler.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And also maintaining and also scaling to 120 AI agents is not something that it's easy, especially from an
It's a
engineering perspective.
Yeah,
So
having an agent, having a customer come with a WhatsApp text message from you saying that you actually cover whatever, and
yeah,
that's clearly not covered on your policy. Yeah, that wasn't a great that wasn't a great moment for us.
yeah, true. Yeah, everything needs to be improved for customer satisfaction. Like it's something that we put customer first, right? But yeah, I totally get that. So that's something that I do like to ask for people that are not so technical, because yeah, some of my audience are pretty technical, but some of them are not so. So for a non-technical founder that he's running now a traditional business, maybe a consultancy or an agency, what is the first step that they need to take in order to become a company that uses AI and they are moving towards AI native without basically I would say having to hire thousands of engineers, just like yeah, he can basically have a team, but like not something that would be too big to scale for a traditional business. What do you think?
So I think there's two things that I would advise everybody is just use it. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many tools now that do so many amazing things. Is we talked about cloud before, but there's also Manus that for a
Mm-hmm.
consultancy or something or this type of job of work, it has amazing results. It just does uh, it just goes through all the different informations, can do PowerPoints for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just does all sorts of great things. So that's one thing. And Claude, obviously, maybe Claude is a little bit too much because it goes on command line straight, but maybe you can use cursor to just build something. You start building, you start using it. You see how powerful it is. So for us, what we do, and this is a benefit from the company, we enable you obviously within reason. We will pay any sort of AI tool that you want,
Mm-hmm.
because we believe that the best ideas don't always come top down. More often than not, it just
Mm-hmm.
flows bottom up. So we encourage everybody at the company. It doesn't matter if you're a coder, you're an adjuster, you are a person from marketing. We encourage you to have all these different subscriptions for Claude or for Cursor or ChatGPT or Manus or there's too many of them now, and
Yeah.
just start doing things. It doesn't matter if it's for the company or for yourself as a kind of side project. So but that's a benefit that we've instituted in the company because we've found that many of the greatest ideas that we've had and that we've then implemented came from all sorts of different places. So just a way of instilling AI literacy in everybody. You want ChatGPT, we will pay for you. You want Cloud Code, we will pay for you, and that's the way more people into you start using AI and having ideas.
Yeah, that's great. And I also think that basically AI cannot generate ideas by itself or read your mind. So you still need to prompt it. And yeah, even if you are not so familiar with it, just start from somewhere. Uh, for example, also with the new update with Cloud Code, also allows you to pop up a window, like a chat interface inside your VS Code or Cursor or wherever you use it. So it's pretty easy now for anyone to use it. Like you don't even have to open it through command line anymore. Pretty easy.
Yeah, and you don't have to jump into cloud, which is yeah, it's a bit more expert, but just cursor is just so easy to use, and you just can build
Sure.
basically anything. I mean, and I haven't personally used the the new update from Codex from OpenAI, the coding agent. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. You can just use cursor, and it more often than not will do 95% or 90% what Cloud Code does, which is like the gold standard right now in coding. So just start building and see where it takes you.
Yeah, sure. And also you're learning from starting from somewhere and then you can move up tools at some point. You're not married to the tools. You can still
No,
change if you need so. So yeah, I would say that as well. So I want to ask if you have anything else that you want our users to know, and also where our listeners can find you.
sure. No, I just encourage everybody to just start building. That's the way we all started. And as you said, just don't get married to a tool because in 2 months, the next and best great thing is going to be a different one. Like
Mm-hmm.
6 months ago was ChatGPT, now it's Claude, and then in 6 months, who knows? So just start building and focusing on, as you said,
Sure.
one thing that AI cannot do yet is just it doesn't have the what how many years of context you've been living and you know your business yourself. So just make sure that you're building in the appropriate places, and that's where we humans are. I think is still better and knowing what to build, not how to build it. How is AI is probably better than our right now than us right now. So yeah, just start building and focus on where it matters in your business, and you will see great results. To look for Tuyo, you can go at tuyo.com, tuio.com,
Mm-hmm.
in all our socials. And yeah, I hope this is great for your audience.
Yeah, that's great. So I would like to thank you very much again for coming and for taking the time to be in this podcast. It's an honor to have you. And you are a case that we have not presented so far. I think it's quite cool and it's really something different than the traditional way that insurance is done. So thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.
Yeah, thank
S-
you.